Rally halted as key indices tumbled in trade yesterday. The Nifty briefly fell below the 11,000 mark intraday but managed to end above that, close to that 11,050 mark. The Sensex too lost over 200 points. The broader markets, they underperformed, but the big cue today, of course, would be the FDI reforms. At the same time, it is the FNO expiry. What should be on everyone's radar? We have Rima joining us and telling us all of that. Rima, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yes, it did appear to be routine profit booking after a heady three-day rally which started in Friday's trade. In fact, towards the end of trade, the markets also recovered a fair bit, nearly half of the losses, which gives you a sense that the markets are fairly resilient and perhaps just for the near term, there may not be too much downside. As you rightly pointed out, the two big domestic cues for today: one, the futures and options expiry, and secondly, some FDI reforms. So on the futures and options expiry, for the August series so far, the Nifty's lost about 1.8%, while the mid-cap index has lost a little more than 3%. With respect to the fresh round of FDI norms with reforms which were announced by the government over the week, in the evening, the rules have been relaxed for local sourcing for 100% FDI in single brand retailers. So anyway, 100% FDI was allowed for single brand retailers, but there were stricter local sourcing norms, and that seems to have been eased. So exports will now be factored in to meet the 30% domestic sourcing norm. Companies can start online retailing without opening brick and mortar stores. So this will benefit the likes of IKEA, H&M, etc. Separately, their company cabinet has also approved 100% FDI under the automatic route in three sectors. One is contract manufacturing, commercial coal mining, and processing infrastructure. With respect to 100% FDI allowed in commercial mining, prior to this, 100% FDI was only allowed in captive coal mining. Now it will be allowed for merchant coal mining, which means it could be a tad bit negative for Coal India. Also now, digital news media has come under the ambit of FDI, where the cap has been stuck at 26%. If you look at the global cues, no big direction emerging. Yes, the Dow rally closed about 250 points, but that was on account of crude prices, so that could be a negative for our own markets. And the US yield curve continues to stay inverted. In fact, at one point of time, the gap between the 2-year and the 10-year widened to about 6 basis points. So recessionary fears in the global market continue to remain quite high.
All right, Rima, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those cues. But also tell us, what are the stocks that you'll be watching out for today?
Well, as you know, one of the stocks we spoke about was Coal India. That will, of course, be on top of mind. But also keep your eye on the Nifty changes. So unexpected lines, Nestle will now be included in the Nifty, while Indiabulls Housing Finance will be excluded. Remember, Nestle has also put in a fair amount of rally up until now. It's rallied about 7% in the month of August itself. Wipro buyback will be closing today, so keep your eye on that. Generally, when companies' buybacks come to an end, that buyback support seems to go away, and that puts some pressure on the stocks. For Sun Pharma, there is a relief because SEBI has found no merit in allegations of fraud, so that was a big overhang, the SEBI investigation, and that could be out of the way. Speculations are rife. What led to the resignation of MD and CEO of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Parthasarathy Mukherjee? Is it an account of the merger with Indiabulls? So that's going to be a stock to keep on your radar. ILNFS and L&T Finance also, because IIFL Wealth will be acquiring L&T Finance's wealth management business for 230 crores. L&T Capital Markets revenue stand at 124 crore, which means roughly the business, the sale has been done at 2 times turnover. Peninsula Land, negative news because ICRA has downgraded NCDs worth 530 crores. Back to you.
Rima, thanks a lot for that. With that, we take a short break, come back, and we get you all that the government announced yesterday. They've announced a fresh round of FDI reforms in an effort to boost the economy.